Hey everyone, Kyle Meinke here from MLive.com, joined by Justin Rogers. Week 10, Justin, it's the Lions and Dolphins. Lions coming off their bye week, but two hot teams going at it, three wins in a row for each of them. Who do you got?
It's a great matchup. I think it's a very compelling matchup. Two great defenses, two offenses with a lot of weapons. Dolphins are clicking a little bit better. I'm kind of in line with the Vegas. Vegas, I think, has got Lions favored by 2.5. I've got a little closer, 17-16 is what I'm looking at. Yeah.
And who's winning?
I think I got the Lions winning this one. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think Calvin Johnson in the home game factor into the equation of just putting them over the edge. But I don't know how the Lions are going to stop Cameron Wake and the Dolphins pass rush. I don't think the Lions are going to be able to move the ball as well as they should, given all their weapons. And I think it's going to be just a tight game.
We've got the same winner. I got the Lions as well, but I think we see the game a little bit differently. Yeah. I have it 31-24 and Lions, and I just see the Lions coming off the bye. They've got Calvin Johnson coming back, and I can't wrap my head around what this offense is going to look like now that we've seen Golden Tate emerge. This guy has looked unstoppable even when teams are double teaming him at times, and now you throw in a guy named Calvin Johnson out there, a guy who commands double teams on just about every snap. I just, it's kind of what the Lions envision when they put this offense together, but I can't really wrap my head around what it's actually going to look like. I think it's going to be potent. You got Waddle's back, Reggie Bush is back. I mean, they're going to have their full complement basically on offense. We'll see what tight ends play, but and I think defensively they might struggle just a little bit against the Dolphins. We've seen that before with this defense against mobile quarterbacks. Sure. Cam Newton's a good example. That's one of the worst games of the year for the Lions defense, and so I think this game will be a little bit higher scoring than some are anticipating, even though it's a number 1 versus number 3 ranked defense. I do have the Lions emerging.
Yeah, and you bring up an interesting point with how Tate's development will improve the entire dynamic of the offense. It's a very good secondary, particularly the cornerbacks with Miami. Brent Grimes, I've talked about him before. I think he's one of the most underrated, should be in the conversation of best cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree.
Cortland Finnegan is another. He's a feisty corner, very aggressive. I think when he's matched up with Tate, it's just gonna be a fun match to watch. There's gonna be a lot of hand fighting at the line of scrimmage, very aggressive play from both of them. But I think he's good enough to at least contain Tate. I don't think he's going to stop him, but that same 5-6 catch, 80-yard mark, I think is what we're looking at. So it's really going to boil down to, can the Lions protect Matthew Stafford? It starts with Lader and Waddle, who's been inconsistent in 2 levels. He's struggled to stay on the field 1, and he struggled to pass block the way he did last year. Cameron Wake is a monster. He's a monster. And then you go to the other side, and you have Oliver Vernon, who is another very good pass rusher, had double-digit sacks last year. Reef's coming off his worst game of the year. So I'm really concerned about the Lions on the edge and how they're going to protect Stafford. If he has time to pass, better luck, but if there's no time, then it doesn't matter who's out there.
Optimistically, the Lions didn't allow a sack against the Falcons for the first time this year. And so I think maybe you see some levels of improvement there. I know you wrote about it this week, wrote about it well. And so I think, there's maybe some hope there. And I think just having Calvin back, the Dolphins aren't going to be able to load up the box like some teams have, and there's going to be less pressure. I mean, just the Lions talked about it all week, and it's kind of obvious. But Calvin's so great that he commands more attention from the defense, and that just makes everyone else look a little bit better. He affects the game a little bit more than your average guy. Even a good player, he just affects the game. He affects the defense. He moves the defense away, and that will help the Lions.
Yeah, we're recording this on Friday afternoon. We don't know the availability of some guys at this stage yet, but one guy that's a huge factor in this game is Lamar Miller. He's got a shoulder injury at the Dolphins, and his comments have suggested he'll play, but if he's banged up, the Dolphins' backup running backs are nowhere near as dynamic, so it's another factor. I don't think he's going to be full strength, and I think that's going to take away a little bit from what they can do offensively. It's another reason I'm confident Detroit can come away with this victory.
Fascinating game, no matter how you look at it. Two hot teams going against each other. Lions trying to maintain first place in the NFC North. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it right here.